Hey everyone, Caleb with Antique Book Collective, and today I'm going to get to you guys with another I Was Wrong video with a little update on a bunch of things. So before I do all those updates, I just wanted to thank all of you guys for subscribing because we just hit 100 subscribers, which is a huge milestone, one that I was really excited to hit because we've only been around for a little over 4 months, which is pretty stinking cool. So thank you guys. I literally can't get more subscribers without you guys, so be sure to share it with your friends, all that sort of stuff. Be sure to like and comment, guys. That really helps my videos get more reach, and go through all of my archives of all the other videos, guys. Those videos really do have a lot of information that can really help you guys. So with all that said and done, guys, I do want to get up to 500 subscribers at a minimum, because once I hit 500, it opens up the community tab on YouTube, which allows me to do more stuff with you guys. I get to do more community things with you guys, which helps my channel grow a little bit faster, and it helps you guys get the channel to be more what you guys want and need out of a channel. So with that said, guys, I really do need your help to get to that point, and I know that you guys can already do community stuff in the Facebook page and group and all that sort of stuff, but it's sort of cool to do it on YouTube, you know? Like, it's nice to be able to use social media YouTube as actual social media YouTube and not just a viewing source for all the videos. So please be sure to subscribe and do all that sort of stuff, guys, because it really does help me. And with that said, what am I going to talk about in this video today? That is going to be about a recent trip that I did to a town called Redding. Redding is not really a town, I guess it's a city, but it's about 8 hours away from me. It's down south in California, and it's quite a drive, and it can be quite expensive to go to, but it can be worth it. And for me, I have actually done this trip quite a few times because the Goodwill down there is awesome, and I've done a few other things down there. And it's really nice. One of the reasons why this particular Goodwill is awesome down there is there's actually a Christian megachurch down there. And that megachurch has a whole lot of people that are really passionate about God and reading stuff. And because they're passionate about that, they have a whole lot of books on those things. And because they have a whole lot of books on Christian subjects, that's really good for me because Christian antique books is one of my best-selling things, and it's one of my favorite things to sell. So without further ado, I'm just going to dive right on into the box that I have right here. So first things first, I got a Bible. Just a nice, big, large print edition Bible. The slipcase is ugly as everything, but the Bible itself is actually pretty sharp. So that's the first thing that I got. Well, actually, not the first thing I got while I was there, but, you know, first thing I'm showing you guys. It was a pretty good find. It'll sell pretty well. And with that said about it selling pretty well, all the books that I got in this particular trip are going to be selling for about $40 or higher. The reason why I am doing $40 as my new base is not because I'm like strapped for cash or I'm picky or any of those sort of things. Well, actually it is sort of because I'm picky, but it's because I'm working on moving, as I've talked about in other videos, and because I'm working on moving, I don't want to have all the books that I have right now that I have to transport. So I'm looking at all the books that I have. I probably have well over a literal ton of books. That's a lot of books to move, and since I'm going to be moving hours and hours away, that's a lot of distance to carry, like a boatload of books. So I actually just got a trailer to help with the move, and even then it's going to be a lot of work and a lot of trips because all these books, guys, they weigh a lot, and trailers can only carry so much. So that is something that I'm working on dealing with, is getting rid of as many books as I can right now. I'm actually running at this very second a 40% off sale for my eBay store, which has definitely helped me get more sales, but I'm trying to get more sales even further still. So I know you might be thinking, well, if you're trying to get rid of books, why are you buying more? And, well, hi, I'm Caleb, and I'm addicted to buying books, antique books. Honestly, guys, like, buying and selling antique books is a little bit of an addiction. Like, once you do it a couple times and you see how much money that you can make, and in addition to that, you think about how you are saving history from all these things, it really can be quite addictive, and it's really quite fun too. So I sort of do this as sort of like a fun thing, but I also am doing it because it's a very good business for me, and it's made me tens of thousands of dollars. So with that said and done, next books that I got, it's called, let's see, Leather Stocking Tales, which I thought was a rather weird name, but evidently it's a rather old book, the book itself, and I think it dated back to like the 1800s. These, however, are obviously not from the 1800s because they have a barcode and a QR code. So these are like reprints of them that they did, and these will sell for pretty good money. I've never seen them before, but they look sort of cool. And with that said, on to the next book. This next book is Antlers Afield. I thought it was an older book than it actually was. This thing's from like the 70s or something like that, which I thought was pretty weird. But it's got a slipcase, and it's a book. It's got a little, one of those ribbon, the inbound ribbon bookmarks things, which is pretty cool. But it's got a little chewed up. So, I mean, it's not the prettiest book, but it actually will sell for pretty good money. Next two books, though, guys, these are why I'm making this video. this is why I was wrong on these things. Like, I know I haven't explicitly said that they never have antique books in Goodwills, or at least I don't think I have said that, but by and large, I do not have antique books in my Goodwill stores. I have them in Goodwill outlet stores, which are the bins, but in the actual stores where they have the shelves lined up, all those things, and they make it look as pretty as they can, my Goodwills do not have the antique books. I have to go outside of my normal Goodwill area, because every Goodwill, they do it like regionally. My region does not have Goodwill stores with the antique books. So for me to go to Reading, I can get those antique books. So this one here is a book on thermodynamics, which is a science thing. It's actually something I've studied a little bit, but it's from 1949. So that's not quite antique just yet. It's just vintage, because for antique, I think it has to be like 100 years old or so. So, I mean, it's not antique just yet, but maybe I can hang on to it for a couple more years. But yeah, this book's going to sell pretty well, and it was an antique book, and I was very excited to get that. I paid, it looks like $2.29 for it, so definitely not a terrible price to buy, and I was happy with it. But the next book is a little more exciting. So if you guys are Christians or you know Christian books, it's called The Great Controversy. That is a book that you will hear referenced quite a lot in a lot of Christian circles. It's a very popular book. It's been around for quite a few years. This particular one, from 1911. So that is not a first edition. Let me just check really quick. I don't recall when the first one first came out. So it says here that the first one came out in 1888. So just a few years before this one came out, but that's still an early edition of The Great Controversy, and it's from 1911, guys. Like, I do not find antique books in my Goodwill store, so it was really cool to find an antique book from a Goodwill store, and I paid $2 for that, so that's pretty stinking nice. And actually, it was $1.99, but $2, you know. So next book, though, guys. This one was one that I was actually sort of a little more excited about. So when I walked in the Goodwill store, I always like to look for sets of books. And it doesn't have to be like a set from like, oh, volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It can be a set of just the same exact copy of the book. Because when you get the same exact copy of the book, you could just take pictures of one book, you make one listing, and then you just change the quantity of those books. This is something that I will talk about in other videos, because it is something that's really important, and it can definitely make you guys a lot of money for a lot less work than all the other books. So this particular book, I could not find it on eBay, I could not find it on all these other places that I looked, and then eventually I looked on Amazon and one other place. In both places, they were selling it for $40 and some change. $40 and some change for a paperback book is not bad. I paid $2 for them, $1.99, and that's a pretty nice profit for me. I don't know for sure if they will sell for $40, however, because with Amazon, you can actually sort of see how often the sales happen. If you get some paid tools, you can actually see exactly how many sales things have. But if you don't have the tools, you can just look at the Amazon sales rank. And the Amazon sales rank, excuse me, I got an itch. The Amazon sales rank will be at the bottom of the page almost, and you want to look at the broad Amazon sales rank, not the individual category ones, but the broad one. If that number is between 1 million and 2 million, it means the book does sell occasionally. It just won't sell very often and that sort of stuff. And that is a little bit of a turnoff if you see it between those numbers. And if it's even higher than that, it means it doesn't sell very often at all, maybe once or twice a year, but it still might sell. However, if the book sales rank is below 1 million, that means it does sell a little more often. And if the number is between like under 600,000, that means it sells semi-often. And if it's below like 500,000 to like 100,000, it means it's selling like all the time, selling the hotcakes, which means that you guys should definitely buy the book if it's getting you $40 profit or whatever you guys end up profiting. So that's something that's pretty nice. However, as I'm sure you guys know, that's not very many books I just showed you. But there's a caveat. So remember how I said I look for sets of books? This baby, there's like 20 of them in this box that I have on my left. And if you guys are playing along with me, I think it actually is like closer to like 27. So 27 books times $40 a piece, that's over $1,000 that I'll be able to sell all those books for. That plus the other books that I showed you is probably going to equate to maybe close to like 1,400 or somewhere in there, which is a pretty good amount of money. And it does not pay for the trip itself. So I don't know if I'll actually be heading back to Reading anytime soon for those books, because Reading is in California. California charges taxes on everything. And not only do they charge taxes on everything, but they like charge a lot of taxes. So because of all the California taxes and all the other rules they have in California, this whole trip cost me a lot more than I have been spending in the past. I don't know if California made a change over the past couple of years, because I haven't been able to do this trip for a couple of years. I don't know if they've changed the numbers, but it definitely was a lot more money than it has been. So the profitability for this trip is definitely not there for me. I probably spent between like $300 and $500 for this trip, which I know doesn't sound like a whole lot of money, but it's a chunk. And I mean, I definitely could have spent less and gone to other places and potentially gotten the same amount of book revenue out of it. So I don't know if I'll be heading back to California because of all the California issues going on, but it was still a pretty good haul. I'll still be able to get a good amount of profit from it. And at the end of the day, I mean, I really enjoyed the trip. So with all that said and done, guys, I had a lot of fun, and I actually have another video for you guys coming out as a little bit of a thank you for the 100 subscribers. And I can guarantee I won't be making a whole lot of videos over the next couple of weeks because, again, I'm working on the move, but I am not stopping this channel whatsoever, guys. Don't worry, I'm going to be sticking around for a long time. Be sure to go through my archives of videos if you guys get bored and want to watch some more videos from me, because those archives do have some very good information in them. And before I say all that, I have another video coming out very soon. It's called Feast or Famine, or at least that's what it's going to be about. I don't know the exact title just yet, but it's talking about why you should not just buy very high tier books. I'm going to dive into that really big, so be sure to watch that video. It's going to be very helpful. I personally benefited a lot from learning this particular lesson about the feast or famine cycle, so I hope that you guys really benefit from it too. So I will be linking to that in one of these corners. I believe it's that corner, and be sure to subscribe up there. Be sure to check out the description to check out the Facebook page, all that sort of stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video.